Oh, sorry, I was talking to myself, wasn't I? So, all right, we start all over. So, Ash says, hey, Mehran, male 35 UK, says, I've been experiencing HOCD intrusive thoughts lately that feels convincingly real, but there is a marked lack of anxiety with it. I think I know why, but it's confusing nonetheless. Uh huh. And says, usually I'm panicking and feeling steady anxiety. All right. And says, that's the problem with OCD. There's new triggers around every corner. Okay. So you shared with me that you get HOCD thoughts now and then, um, and it lacks that feeling of anxiety about it. So, okay. So, what's the question? Now that you've shared that with us, what is the question? I know what I'm going to tell you. I think I know what your question is, but I want to hear it from you. What's the question? Having said that, what's your dilemma? And until you respond, I go to Thomas. And, and Thomas says, I thought you recovered with, well, you're talking to Ash, yeah? Mhm. Thomas says, anyways, what's up, legend? Why do I get angry when I wake up? And then 10 minutes later, the same repetitive thoughts shows up, and then I get annoyed and angry and feel like it feels helpless, and then my brain takes to the next level and makes a feeling of sadness and anger. Well, because you are constantly trying to fight and win a fight. For that, you're spending lots of energy to go through this argument or resistance or fight because you are certain that whatever the thought is in regards to your intrusive thoughts, it's not pertaining. It cannot be pertaining. You know, it's not in line with your values, and you get angry that how dare you, brain or whatever is out there, bring such a thought that is not in line with my values, and I do not enjoy it, and I do not welcome it. How dare you to attack me, disrespect me with such intrusive thoughts? That brings the anger because you're proud of your inclination, you're proud of your preference, and you don't want anybody mess with what's most important to you, to us all, which is our identity, our inclination, our sexuality. And anybody wants to disrespect that, it's like they're disrespecting, what this whole sacred value of my life is, and that is a natural reaction. But because you do this constantly, all through the day, that's in your mind. So when you sleep, probably one of the last things that you were still trying to deal with it against the brain was this. This energy stays, and when you wake up, it's the first thing that comes up because you slept with that thought. It's very likely what we end up thinking before sleeping, it may actually surface in the morning. Not that it means anything in particular, but it just means that's how the brain works when you feed it something or get it engaged in something lasting the night before. It usually wants to carry that fight or aware you of that narrative the next morning. So, and then of course, when you see it the next morning, you say, shit, I didn't get rid of that. It's still there. Then you get angry. Then in about 10 minutes, oh, yeah, it's just morning, so whatever. And then 10 minutes later, what did you say? You said, angry and feel like it feels hopeless. Oh, yeah, that hopelessness makes you feel like, oh, how am I going to get rid of it? Again, the same thing you start all over again. How am I going to get rid of it? How am I going to stop this? You want a conclusion right away rather than simply increasing your knowledge about OCD subsets such as HOCD's case, and understand that this is what the overactive amygdala is presenting with non-existent danger signals, and the brain is trying to find a matching danger for this danger signal. There is a signal of danger, but there is no topic to it. So it looks into your consciousness. What is your values? What is it that you protect the most? What is it that you're so proud of? What is the most valuable to you? Then it says, there must be a danger to that because there's this danger signal. So I'm going to match these, pair these together, even though it is irrelevant and is none of that shit at all. But the brain doesn't know any better. It says there's a signal. I got to match it with something. What can I match it with? Well, obviously, let's find out what's really most important to this person. It could pick up your mother or your father or your child or something so sacred, or finds what is most terrifying for anyone who's proud of his own gender and sexuality and so on. He attacks your sexuality and calls this danger to make you aware that there could be a possible danger to your sexuality. And then you think that it has actual meaning to it because this was suggested by the brain. Brain doesn't know what it's suggesting. Brain is just trying to match a signal, a danger signal, to something that attacking it or deviating from it is something that you value very much not to, and you want to protect it so very strongly, and that would be the danger to you. And so it's trying to aware you of it, but it just turns out to be matching it. Then you get the topic with the danger signal, and you think it actually has some merit to it, which is totally irrelevant. And this is what you continue this cycle. And the best thing to do is just leave this without interpretation. Stop trying to stop thoughts about these things. Understand there's a malfunction in the brain, and by this understanding, you would basically use the 4 steps and diss it, and because you know what it is, not that you're going to try to discover what this signal, what this interpretation, what this suggestion is all about in pertaining to you. All right. Now, I wonder if you guys can find these things in any of the channels. And remember, from now on, we have a rule because I spoke about this last night. The channel needs support, and I cannot constantly for 13 years pay out of my pocket. We only spend what the channel makes. Otherwise, we're going to wither and die. So from now on, first question for everyone is free. Anything after that, we need to have super chat in order to support the channel. Otherwise, it's impossible to continue what we are setting out to continue. I love this. I love what I'm doing, but it has to economically make sense to be able to dedicate more time to it. So this is how it's going to be. Ash, you might want to put a note up here so everybody would understand what we're trying to do. Because obviously everybody's enjoying the channel, but nobody thinks about how the channel can actually continue its progress. Now, when Ash is here, I'll be addressing his question as well, but I don't know if you're still here or you've gone busy with something. That must be what, 8 o'clock in the UK? Ash, did you go back to sleep by any chance? Why don't you all Ask your questions at the same time, one at a time. What's going on? You guys went to sleep? Maybe I gotta find some music for you guys to be entertained while we're having our sessions. By the way, soon enough, probably from next week, we will have a feature on the site where everybody can join in a group session, uh, 10 people maximum, and it costs $48 instead of the private one-on-one, which is $130. So that would be more affordable for people around the world. We want to have a semi-private, maximum 10 people. We need at least three people to start the session. So it has to be at least three people. And of course, it's going to be at least 2 hours, uh, unless and if we have more people, like it gets to the full capacity, I might add a little bit more to it. And so in that way, everybody gets a chance not just to enjoy and benefit from other people's questions and my response to them, also they get a chance to answer their own questions in multiple times. So we'll have enough time for that. And if Ash is here, you let me know you're here, Ash. And we've got three people watching now, so I wonder who the third one is. And Thomas, you forgot to mention M22 Florida. Yeah, is it? Are you in Florida, Thomas? Am I? Am I? Okay, so just include that information if you don't mind. Maybe I'll just take a break till you guys get situated, and then I'll be right back. Just warm up my tea. So just a little bit of break for you guys. So, guys, are you telling me after that brilliant response you didn't hear me? Can you hear me now? Could you tell me if the audio works or not? So, can you guys let me know if you can hear me or not? Oh, okay. Then what was that all about? We couldn't hear audio. I guess that was the first bit that I joined. Okay. All right. Good. So you guys did hear my response. Now, in regards to Ash's good, let me just catch up. No audio. Yeah, good. Okay. Question is what? Ash says question is what? All right. It's very simple, Ash. If you do ERP, the purpose of one of the purpose of ERP is to get that terror feeling, anxiety feeling out of the way. So you by exposure response therapy, prevention therapy, ERP, you're trying to let the brain know that there is no reason for you to make me aware of some danger that it's really not a danger because the brain itself doesn't have any idea that this is actually pertaining to you. It just is trying to find a matching topic to a danger signal that is received from the amygdala. And because there is no topic with it, it's just the danger signal that doesn't exist has been sent out, and the brain is trying to say, okay, where is the danger? I don't know. So let me find through his values what's really very important to him. I connect this danger signal to what is really important to him, and then make him aware and alarm him to help him. And that's what it brings terror to you because you think that it actually has any meaning because this topic, which is very important to you, and this a danger signal has been aired. ERP is trying to tell the training the brain to say, uh, thank you for making your opinion or telling me about this thought, but really I don't care. It's okay. So for that reason, sometimes let's say if somebody's heterosexual thinks that he's gay and he just simply puts the word gay here and there, so his eyes would be familiar with this word, and the word after a while, slowly, brain learns it's not going to freak him out anymore. So the brain feels, okay, that's not something I need to alarm him about. So it shuts down because it's not pertaining to him. There's no danger there in that department. Now, what has happened through the time, which you have become more and more educated about OCD and OCD subsets such as HOCD, you naturally have created an understanding that this is irrelevant to me. So I'm not really terrified about it because I know it can't do anything to me. These thoughts are intrusive thoughts and they really don't have any bearing on who I am, what my preferences are. But this is a glitch and a malfunction of a brain. When you recognize that, then no longer you feel anxiety toward these thoughts because you've already established the understanding that these are intrusive thoughts and it's a malfunction of the brain. That's all. So that's why you have no anxiety, and, unless you just find something new that you haven't. Again, you forget about the association of the danger and the topic, and that the brain is making the association to alarm you. You forget about that fact and you believe the thought, and that's it. Yeah. You know, the problem with all of that is that you guys are trying to make sense out of it. It's just a malfunction. Everybody gets intrusive thoughts. Everybody, every single human being on earth gets intrusive thoughts. But in their cases, they recognize the thought, and the embodied nucleus, as we talked about it, is designed to shut it down, and then they go about their business. Oh, that's nasty. Oh, that's that's it. But in OCD brains, the thought lingers. Like our ability to forget an intrusive thought from the time that a thought shows up to the time that the brain forgets it, such as when the caudate nucleus is working properly and shuts it down, and we forget about that suggestion, it's longer, sometimes very long, than the non-OCD brains. That's why you need to reteach the brain to train it to actually become insensitive to nonsense thoughts rather than taking it seriously, because naturally you're perfectionist and you're very strong about what's important to you, and you want to defeat the thought so the thought will not show up, rather than understanding it's a malfunction. It can show up as many times as it wants, but it's no difference to me. So these are why you train the brain to learn and not react to such intrusive thoughts as if it has any truth to it. Mhm. Almost May 24. Thank you for that, Thomas. Okay, Thomas says, I'm not fighting it. I'm just irritated that it continues to show up. That's fine. That's fighting. You're irritated because you pay attention while it's still here. You're irritated because something's happened. And that something's happening is that the existence of the thoughts that you disagree and you don't want them there. But what I'm saying is you need to allow thoughts to exist instead of taking them seriously as if they have any power or meaning, or they could make any modification to you, or the suggestions could be of any relevancy to you. Instead of that, you can just simply understand that thoughts can exist. But you, being the perfectionist that you are, you want to destroy, demolish anything that could offend your, so to speak, pureness, let's say. And that's why. So it is fighting with. You're fighting with something. You're reacting to something. The whole idea is don't react. See it. Just like when you walk in the street and you see a pile of dog shit, you see it, you recognize it, and you move on to something positive that you're supposed to be engaged in on your way to whatever it is you want to accomplish. But instead, if you stand there and say, oh, I'm pissed that you're there again, another piece of shit. So now you're spending time with it, and that you're noticing and interacting, exchanging energy with it, rather than just, oh, yes, sure, thank you, pass by. You see, the idea is don't give energy to the intrusive thoughts. The brain may think that it's done a good job to alarming you about something that is not an alarm, and it wasn't supposed to be of any big issue because there was no such topic when the amygdala expressed that danger signal that actually the danger doesn't exist. But it just sends a signal. It's malfunctions or firing up signals of danger when there is actually nothing. So the brain is running around trying to match it up, pair it with something that is of danger to you, to your lifestyle. And because it really doesn't know what that signal fired up, it's just going to find something that is important to you and put it together, and then you're now supposed to be reacting. Don't react to it. Understand the malfunction and the thoughts can exist, whatever it may be. Bashi is here. Says I'm here too. Okay, says she still meets him. Okay, let me see. Let me read first question. Bashi says, should I stay away from a girl? Bashi, I need to know your age, gender, where you're tuning in from. Remember, that's our code here, protocol. All right. This out. Microphone is cracking. Is it any better? Is it any better, guys? Let me know if the quality is okay so I can continue, if you wouldn't mind. If you guys respond to me, still cracking, all right? Un momentito. Okay, is it any better now? Okay, I see there no audio, but I fixed it now. Is it any better or still crackling? Is it fixed now? Okay, thank God. What a difficult audience, for heaven's sake. You should be able to read lips by now. I've repeated these. Okay, where were we? We were talking to 29 male Switzerland. Baschi. Okay. What? Okay. So Baschi, it works. Yeah, okay. So you're behind the eight ball. What happened? So can we finally figure this out? Is the fucking audio works or not? Answer me. Yes or no. All of you. Not part of you yes, part of you no. I gotta know. I gotta know. Eh? Okay. God bless you all. Thank you. All right. Let's go to Baschi. I hope I'm not pronouncing it right, but whatever it is. So, Bashi says, should I stay away from a girl which cheated with me cheated on you with her boyfriend. Or no, cheated with you on her boyfriend. So she had a boyfriend and she cheated on the boyfriend with you. She later told me that she left him afterwards, moved out, and told me she did it for me. Can she be loyal? I guess you'll never know, would you? You will know when she leaves you. Until then, enjoy yourself. Most of them are, most, not all, maybe you have to be respectful. Most of them are not reliable and loyal anyhow. So the question that you're having is really useless. Why? Because if it's not this one, another one could be unfaithful in a different way. So just put your faith on most women, not most, not all. There are always amazing women out there, but it's hard to find them, however. So put your faith away from most women and just enjoy yourself as long as it lasts. And once you realize anything that you shouldn't have realized, or at least it's not in line with your values, when you find out, then that's the time you simply change and switch to another possibility. Until then, imagine, have a fantasy that they're loyal. So there you go. I think that's the best answer I can give you, because why should you deprive yourself from a woman who, for your for your coconut, or not coconut, whatever, has broken up another relationship. So you can appreciate that she was really into you, but your question is very good. However, you should stop thinking that a relationship is forever. And this is why you're asking the question, because you're a good, righteous man and you expect certain old-fashioned values, which I honor as well. And you want to know if this would be someone that you can rely on, and it could last a long time or not. That, whether she did this or not, you would never know, because things can change. Maybe she never had a boyfriend. Maybe she was virgin and she comes and, makes it with you and you become an item. But then after a while, for one reason or another, she may change her mind. She wants to go with somebody else. That happens. So you can't really think that if she wouldn't have cheated on her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, and you would have found about her and got involved with her when she was free and was not in a relationship, you can't tell that that would be a sign that she would be loyal to you and stay for a long time. There's no guarantee. Many women go into a relationship, but they were not already in another relationship. They were free, single, and they went to a relationship with somebody, you or somebody else, and then they break up. They're not necessarily loyal, or then they cheat. So this is not something that you can use it as a signal that if she did this, she's going to cheat on you too. It's possible. Or if she wouldn't have done this, then you could be assured that this would never happen with this girl. You never know. Even if she was a virgin and come to you, she could do something else. So there's no answer. But your question, I'd say no. Enjoy yourself with her. As long as she's good, loyal to you, enjoy. And don't doubt her just because she's made one bad judgment, or she should have broken up with that guy and then come and sleep with you. But usually, as you know, women don't do this. Women always find another one before they break up. In most cases, 90% of the cases, 80% of the cases, women find another candidate before they sever the relationship with the one that they're in a relationship with. So just because she did that, that doesn't mean she's not going to be loyal to you. But when you find out that things are not working out, whether she wasn't loyal to you or just things don't work out, you have conflicts and divisions, then you both choose another path and you go on your merry ways. But until then, don't doubt her. Relax, trust her, and bond with her. And if she's just as good as you are and you're both worthy for each other, it'll continue. If it's not, not. There is no sense you allude to the fact that because this happened in the past, it will also happen in the future. It could be one off. It could also happen, but it could happen to anybody who maybe not even ever cheated before. Right? So don't go there. There's no assurance of any of that thing. Just learn to live life in these sort of situations or any other situation with an uncertainty. There is nothing in this world certain. And now you want to get certainty about something that nobody has ever been able to prove it's certain or not. And that's the relationship with women. All right. All right. I hope that answers your question. Aha, there we go. That's a good man. Bachi has helped the channel. He says you made me laugh. So you're paying me as because I made you laugh. This is not a circus, for heaven's sake. This is a very highly accredited discussions. And I consider myself expert in such matters, and I'm unanimous on that. So, and if you really laughed, what's a fucking $2? I mean, are you not joking? Is it 2 Swiss francs? Well, okay, then maybe that will. All right. And Bessie says, yes, I honor old values. Good for you. They're soon gonna be hard to find and vintage, but I like vintage stuff anyhow. Listen, don't take it so seriously. You think that what should stop looking for that elusive, perfect, honorable, faithful relationship that our parents grew up with and we hoped for, wished for. That ship has sailed. That sort of thing is not going to show up anymore. Girls these days have slept with 40, 50 men before us, so it's now become something like they feel if I haven't slept with enough men, it's not counted, so they keep on doing it before they actually settle something. Well, it's just fine. But usually, I would like to see a girl has slept with the opposite sex less than I have with my opposite sex. So at least that'll give me some kind of idea that, anyhow. And Batsiche girls aren't loyal. I can speak hours about that. Yesterday, a friend kissed me on a party. She's married. Well, maybe she kissed you on the cheek, maybe not lips. Says, my views about women are kind of fucked. Well, I don't blame you. Most women are really representing really fucking bullshit way of appreciating and respecting a relationship. And this is no disrespect to the good women that we're all looking for and willing to, so to speak, die for. They're jewels and they're there. Amazing woman with values, impeccable values, loyalty, friendship, unselfishness, sacrifice. And that's the kind of, that's how we want to be, the kind of man that we would be for them. So I'm not talking about that portion of the woman. I'm talking about the majority of the woman. Why majority of the women don't have a good relationship these days, they don't have a secure, long-lasting relationship, is because most women are accustomed and have learned by the way of the society that they should do nothing but gain everything and have all the comfort that they can. So they attend to their beauty, which is, I appreciate that, I worship that, the fact that a woman takes care of herself. But in such woman that I'm talking about, on this segment, that segment of the woman, they only think that their weapon of mass destruction, weapon of choice is their beauty and their body. So they lure you with that beauty and they love bomb you with all the domestic values that every real man looks towards the woman of his choice, because this is how most of our mothers were. And in the old traditional way, that the marriages would last long, relationships would last long, families were mostly happy, there was a hierarchy. We still dream of that because we still believe that is the way to have a normal, balanced family. Men have their roles and women have their roles, and they lead when they are better at something at different times. And then mostly they share, and at the same times they value their man's masculinity, and their femininity is highly valued at the same time. But when today's women try to get the guy that they want, they present themselves as beautiful as they are, their sexuality, and when they get in a relationship with the man of their choice, they bombard him, they love bomb him, and they attend to him as if they were women of 50 years ago, which it's so palatable to us, and we love that. The kindness, the warmth, and understanding, no arguments, all abilities to resolve things and be a balsam of the wounds of all kinds, and all domestic stuff, cooking and cleaning, and the house is always wonderful or the apartment is wonderful, and they focus on that, which really gets into our hearts, and we just fall for that woman because it's so scarce. So it's a real feminine, beautiful, takes care of herself, is very responsible, very okay with the women's specialities, all the things that we learned, how our mothers and grandmothers were, the cooking and the beauty and all the decorations and all the celebrations and all the things that we cannot deny just because the political views, or to be politically correct stuff is out there. We just got to say it how it is. Most men like that kind of a woman, but then when they actually get into that, since it is not really their real belief and way of life and their real interest, because they've been really fucked up in their head that they should just be all around the discos and have fun, and life is about fun, and how many attentions, they're attention junkies, that they want other men's attention to them all the time. So they're striving for that. They do anything to get that attention. After a while, they get bored of the role that they have created, or they have endowed themselves, or they're presenting themselves to their man, and they revert back to being unhappy, dissatisfied, nagging or complaining, or antagonizing their man, putting him down to get him do more things for him, which is completely opposite way of getting a man to do more things for the woman. We like to be praised. We like to be patted on the back by our woman. We like to be appreciated. We'll do a lot more for them because we just love them. But when they actually they see themselves in that role, and it's not really their real intention or real character, they start getting annoyed, and then they stop really being as wonderful as they were, and they switch. Once they switch, well, then it doesn't work, because now we think we got something that it was in some way, now it's changed. So the whole dynamic changes, and the man says, why am I doing all these things for this woman who's upset, angry, dissatisfied, and no longer is offering me all the wonderful things that she offered to get me? So was that a trick? Was that a lure? So what happened then? They wake up and they say, I cannot continue this rest of my life. Why would I? Even if she's so amazingly sexy, they eventually do not want that. Because one thing that every man wants and every woman wants, regardless of their motivations to be in a relationship, one thing that they both share is peace of mind. Peace of mind, ability to relax at home together. So divisions and conflicts is not something that they would prefer, no matter how beautiful the woman is. And this is the main reason the woman want to deviate from that, what really makes a family work, and they expect to have that security and long-lasting relationship. It won't happen. You know, nobody's stupid, and nobody's going to put up with it. So there you have it now. All right. Okay. I wasn't scared of the malfunction. So what the fuck is this? So annoying, so disgusting. So that was it. Well, I was not scared of it because I guess without knowing the knowledge that I have now, all my life, I guess I knew I'm all about my vetoes and choices. I don't care who suggests what. The people throughout your life suggest that you join them for some kind of a activity. Maybe they want to drink or they want to smoke, use drugs or whatever else they want to do. And you, with your values and the way you've been raised, you would veto certain things and you would choose certain things. And for me, that was my belief that it doesn't matter what other people suggest or what my brain suggests. I know who I am, who I want to be, and I'll protect that to my death. So for me, it wasn't scaring. It was just annoying that I'm not interested. Why the hell all these things? What for? How can I get rid of them? That was the only thing in my mind, not anything else that it could do anything to me or change me in anything. It was just disgusting to me. And so do the others of what they want. Yeah. All right. So it looks like that we have hit about an hour and we've hit all the questions. So at this point, I think, and people, as soon as they heard that the super chat is welcomed and is suggested and it's it's recommended, advised, they all buggered off. So we now know the worth of our channel and we know how long it's going to survive. So all right. So it's time for me to say I love you all. All three of you are still here. And it's time for me to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. And I also appreciate uh, Bachi, Baschi to support the channel tonight. And I look forward to our next live stream. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.